have it. So this entire noise, short noise, will be putting into some R equivalent, so that R equivalent generates some thermal noise of root 4 kT delta F into R equivalent that we are going to have. So that can combine the different noise sources, the resistances that we are going to have. So power density spectrum that has been developed by this short noise is going to be given by Q into I naught, or the mean square value is going to be 2Q I naught into delta F, because the bandwidth that we are going to have it is plus or minus delta F that we are going to have it. Therefore 2Q I naught into delta F is going to be there, where Q is your charge of electron that we are going to have it. That's what 1.59 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs that we are going to have it, right? So that is about the short noise. So we have seen the thermal noise and we have seen the short noise, and short noise also we are representing as equivalent resistor, R equivalent, so that you can combine all these resistances, noises that has been generated. We will see that how to combine these things with the different stages that we are going to, so that we will be having overall circuit performance that we are going to have it. The other one is the transit noise that we are going to have it, the transit time that we are going to have it. At low frequency, there is not any problem, because if you say that it's from one end to the other end, even though it is going to be 1 microsecond, even if a cycle is also 1 microsecond, that means by the time it completes 1 second, it is not reaching the end point that we are going to have it. So we have to consider this transit time noise also, and very high frequencies that we are going to have. At the low frequency and medium frequencies, this will not be of much effect, but at very high frequencies, this transit time noise also we have to consider, so that overall noise performance can be achieved comfortably. And then we have said different noise sources are there, and thermal noise and the short noise also we said that it is in the order of put into R equivalent. So how to add these noises? We say that these are all the additive noises that we are going to have it, and we have, if you have the different sources that we are going to have it, if they are going to add up, then we say this additive noise. If they are going to multiply sometimes, we call this as a fading noise. You know, fading and other things you will be studying more in details about the propagation subject, right? But you say that you have additive noise and fading noise that we are going to have it, okay? So how to add this noise? Suppose you have this one source Vn1 corresponding to this resistance R1. Therefore, the RMS value of this voltage is 4 kT delta F into R1. At the same temperature, they are operating and the same bandwidth. Therefore, only variable is R1. Now you have another source with resistance R2. So this mean square RMS value is root of this mean square values, sum of the mean square values. When you have two RMS values, the average value will be the root of the sum of the two mean square values that we are going to have it. Therefore, that is root of 4 kT delta F R1 plus 4 kT delta F R2. This is nothing but 4 kT delta F and R total, where R total is going to be the sum of these two resistance R1 and R2. R1 plus R2 that we are going to have. That's why we said that short noise also we are putting into a equivalent noise resistor, so that these can be evaluated very easily by this A2 properties that we are going to your total noise that we are going to have, and two noise sources are R1 and R2 are there, and they are serial. Then we will be having this noise, total noise is going to be R1 plus R2. The total resistance, if it is going to give you some noise, that will be the added noise that we are going to have. And in the systems that we are going to have it, we have an amplifier, right, with a gain some 10 or 100 that we are going to have it. But if this is not sufficient, then you have to increase the gain, and increasing the gain is not possible. Therefore, you have to cascade the number of stages that we are going to have it. So when you cascade this, however, noise performance is going to be increasing. So we are going to cascade this two stages. One amplifier with gain of A1, another amplifier with the gain of A2 that we are going to have. The amplifier 1 is having a gain of A1 and amplifier 2 is having gain of A2. And this is the R1 that we are going to have it. This is R2 and this is R3. I think I have not put this R1 and R2. This is R1, this is R2 and this is R3. R1 is generating a noise of Vn1 here, and this is generating a noise of Vn2, and R3 is generating a noise of Vn3. So this is R1 and this is Vn1, this is R2, Vn2, R3 and Vn3 that we are going to have it connected in between the two amplifiers that we are going to have it. Therefore, what will be the noise that has been generated with R3? This Vn3 equal to root of 4 kT delta F into R3. Suppose if this is the voltage that has been developed across this because of this resistance, without this noise source that we are going to have, if we reflect this at the input, what should be the input voltage? What should be the input voltage at this point to get this noise Vn3? That this R3 is noise-free system or noise-free resistor. So what should be the input that we require here? Because the gain is A2, the output should be Vn3 by R, the A2 that we are going to have it. Okay? If you say that this Vn3 by A2 is the input here, that is multiplied by A2, so that you are getting Vn3 as output, assuming that this is a noise-free resistor. Still, if you say that this is having an input of Vn3 by R, then we are going to get the same noise, right? Now we are having here Vn3 by R3, and here this R2 is having resistor. R2 is the resistor that is present. Therefore, what will be the effect that we are going to have it at this point? R2 plus effective resistance of this R3 that we are going to have it is reflected at the input point. Next slide. So Vn3 prime is Vn3 by A2. And what is Vn3? This is root of 4 kTf delta F into R3 by A2. Therefore, this R3 prime that is going to be reflected at the input because of the resistance is R3 by A2 square. Because this root is there, that is coming as A2 square. Voltage is divided by A2, but whereas resistance is divided by A2 square. Therefore, equivalent noise resistance at the input of the second stage is R equivalent prime is R2 plus R3 prime. So R3 of the second stage output has been reflected as the input R3 prime. Therefore, the total resistance that we are going to have R2 plus R3 prime or R2 plus R3 by A2 square. This is generating some noise voltage, and we reflect this into the input side of the first amplifier. Then this total R2 prime that we are going to reflect into the input side of the first stage is going to be this total resistance by A1 square. So that's what we are having, R equal to A1 square or R2 by R2 plus R3 by A2 square into by A1 square. or the resistance that is reflected for R2 and R3 combined as the input of the first amplifier is R2 by A1 square plus R3 by A1 square plus A2 square. And we have R1 as the input resistance for your circuit. Therefore, the total resistance R equivalent is R1 plus R2 prime, or the value is R1 plus R2 by A1 square plus R3 by A1 square into A2 square that we are going to have. So like this, you have a cascaded system with the different resistances. You can calculate what will be the overall equivalent noise resistance, so that you can calculate what will be the voltage that is going to develop by the overall circuit with all these cascaded amplifiers that we are going to have it. Right? So that's what we are having, the resistance that we are going to have it as the R equivalent with the different values that we are going to have it. If A1 and A2 are very large, then this R equivalent will be R1 only. Right? If R1 is a small value, then your overall noise performance will be better. Or because R1, if you are having a small value, your Vn is small. Right? Or R equivalent is small, then A1 and A2 are very large. So you have to design your circuit such that R1 is very small with the different gains that we are going to have it. You know, that we'll see in our noise figure calculations also. If the gains are more, then at the input stage noise figure only will be constituting the total noise that we are going to have. So similarly here R1 is going to be the major part that is going to cause the noise that we are going to have it. So if R1 is small, then overall noise performance will be small that we are going to have it. So we have seen that the thermal noise, short noise, and what will happen for this overall resistance value if you have a cascaded system that we are going to have it. Then we will be having another term that we are going to have it is the signal to noise ratio, or S by N, or simply called as SNR. The signal to noise ratio that we are going to have it is S by N. This is the average signal by average noise power that we are going to have it, XS by XN. If you say that we have a resistance R, the noise signal power that we are going to have it is with the voltage of Vs is Vs square by R, and the noise power is Vn square by R that we are going to have it. Therefore, the noise ratio will be Vs by Vn whole square that we are going to have it, where Vs is the signal voltage and Vn is the noise RMS voltage that we are going to have. Therefore, Vs by Vn whole square is the SNR value that we are going to have it. In addition to the SNR, we will be having what you call the term noise figure, to compare the different systems that we are going to have it, which gives a better performance that we are going to have it. So if the noise figure is, so noise figure we are defined as the input signal noise ratio by the output signal to noise ratio that we are going to have it. So you have two receivers, one with a noise figure of 20, another with a noise figure of 50. Which one is a better one? One is with a noise figure of 20, another one is with a noise figure of 50. 50 or 20? People 20, people 50. We are defining the noise figure. Where is that? As input signal to noise ratio by output signal to noise ratio. If this is equal to 1, input signal to noise ratio and output signal to noise ratio are same. That means your circuit is not contributing much noise, right? If this F equal to 1, it is input signal to noise ratio and output signal to noise ratio equal, then your system is a noise-free system. Because whatever the signal that has received, the signal noise ratio that has been added in our channel and all those things has been passed out without further addition of the noise that we are going to have it. Normally, this output signal to noise ratio will be larger than, less than this input signal to noise ratio, because the signal is not going to change, but noise is going to be added in your circuit that we are going to have. Therefore, if you have 1, that is the minimum that we are going to have it, but the noise figure may be increasing if the output signal to noise ratio goes on decreasing, because as the noise increases, the signal to noise ratio decreases. The noise signal you are not changing. Whatever the amplification that you are going to give for the signal, the same amplification you are going to give for the noise also. Therefore, the performance decreases as f increases that we are going to have it. Okay? So this is one metric that we are going to have it to compare the various receiver circuits or the electronic circuits that we are going to have it under the noise performance that we are going to have. And this f, we can expand it as into the simple terms that we are going to have it is 1 plus NAO by NSO that we are going to have it. Rather, the term that we are going to have is instead of input signal noise ratio by output signal noise ratio, this noise figure we have simplified into 1 plus NAO NSO. Anyhow, the more derivations you will be having in your probability theory and random variables that we are going to have. Where this NAO is noise power at output solely due to amplifier. That is, your amplifier circuit is giving you the noise that we are going to have it, whereas NSO is the noise power at the output solely due to source noise that we are going to have it. What are the input source that we are going to have it? That will be the noise that we are going to have it as the denominator. Numerator is the noise that has been added by your amplifier circuit that we are going to have it. So, depending on these values, your noise figure is going to change that we are going to have it. Or, in terms of R equivalent and RA that we are going to have it, you have at the receiver end, there is the antenna system that we are going to have it. So, if you say that the antenna system is dependent by equivalent resistance of RA, and after RA you have all your receiver circuit, the overall resistance, thermal noise resistance that we are going to have it is R equivalent. That what we have done in the previous case of adding all the resistances that we are going to have it in a cascaded system that we are going to have it from antenna to your baseband filter that we are going to have it. So that we are putting as R equivalent, so that this noise figure F we can represent also as 1 plus R equivalent by RA, where RA is the antenna resistance that we are going to have it. And R equivalent is along with our antenna overall the noise equivalent resistance that we are going to have it. So this is one way of, another way of obtaining the noise figure that we are going to have. Now you have a cascaded amplifier, like what we have said, the resistance previous circuit that we are going to have, the block diagram with amplifier 1 and amplifier 2, the noise figure that we are going to have it, because the input, the second stages are going to be attenuated by your gain that we are going to have it. Therefore, the overall noise figure F that we are going to have it as the cascaded system is going to F1 plus F2 minus by 1 by A1 plus F3 minus 1 by A1, A2 and so on. Suppose you have fourth stage also, F minus 1 by A1, A2, A3 and so on. Therefore, if you want to have, as I said previously, that if this F1 is very small, that's why we say that the front end we want it as a low noise amplifier. That's why normally we say that in any receiver circuit, LNA we will put on the front end for a good communication receiver that we are going to have. A normal receiver, as you say, that you may not have an amplifier itself, a household receiver. But a good receiver will be having an amplifier, RF amplifier. And that too, to have a better noise performance, this should have a low noise figure also. So that once this is very small, the other one is F2 minus 1 by A1. So if you have this A1 to be large, the next stage noise added is going to be reduced by this factor. This is not F1 plus F2 plus F3. If it is like that, then whatever may be the first stage amplifier design, overall noise will not be changing. But whereas, because if this F1 is very small, then overall noise F will be also comparable with this F1 only, because we are having the other stages. Actually F3 noise that we may be having is negligible, you can say, A1 and A2. There is only F1 plus F2 minus 1 by A1. This will constitute majority of the noise performance figure that we are going to have. Okay? So this is about the noise figure that we are going to have it. So in relation to our signal noise ratio and noise figure metric that we are going to have it, sometimes we will be having what you call the noise temperature also as a comparative measurement that we are going to have it. So because we said that you have at one temperature T1, you say that P1 is, the power is going to be KT1 into delta F. At other temperature, P2 is T2 into delta F. So combined, you have KT1 delta F plus KT2 delta F that we are going to have. Or the combination of this is going to be KTT into delta F, where this is T1 plus T2 that we are going to have. Noise figure, we have put it as the signal noise ratio at the input by the signal noise ratio output. The variations that will be coming may not be that much compared to putting this into the noise temperature that we are going to have. So as the noise performance is going to be poor, the noise temperature also will be having a larger value that we are going to have. Therefore, if you say that noise figure is going to be changed from 1 to 10, the noise temperature may be changing 1 to 50 or 1 to 100. Which one will be better to have a resolution? So this gives a better resolution to compare compared to having the noise figure that we are going to have. So this is also one of the comparative measure that we are going to have it as the noise temperature, how much noise temperature each of the circuit is going to give you, so that you can compare the performance of different circuits that we are going to have it. Right? So this noise figure is given as 1 plus T equivalent by T naught, R equivalent by RA that we have put it, so that and you are combined into the equivalent resistances that we are going to have it. So T equivalent by T naught that we are going to have it. Or this T equivalent given this noise figure T naught into F minus 1 that we are going to have. So given the noise figure, given the noise temperature, you can find out the noise figure, and give the noise figure, you can obtain the noise temperature that we are going to have. The absolute room temperature is T naught that we are going to have, which we said that it is 290 degrees Kelvin that we are going to have, the normal temperature. But if room temperature is given as something about 23 degrees centigrade, then you have to put that plus 273 and say that this is 296. But if the temperature, room temperature is not given, then you can say that T naught is going to be 290 degrees Kelvin and then calculate accordingly. If temperature is given, then substitute that and get the values that we are going to have it. So that is about the noise figure and the noise temperature that we are going to have it. Another parameter that is of importance is the noise equivalent bandwidth that we are going to have it. Because we said that it is a white Gaussian noise that we are going to have it. Overall, the entire spectrum, the signal is going to present, varying from at the peak at this point to the dying down up to infinity. The signal is present at all the places that we are going to have. This is the Gaussian distribution that we are going to have it. So the noise bandwidth that we are going to have it is, we said that minus B2 plus B is the overall noise, or this having a bandwidth of B. That is, we are finding out the area of this distribution, then scaling it with this value at the zero frequency that we are going to have it. That's what we are having. The bandwidth of your system that we are going to have it is, then to the 0 to infinity of this square of your power spectral density distribution that we are going to have it, by scaling with the DC value or the average value we are going to have it, H naught value. What will be the spectral value at DC value? That will be your bandwidth, noise equivalent bandwidth that we are going to have. So these are the different parameters that we are going to have it, so that you can compare the various systems based on these metrics that we are going to have. How much bandwidth of your system is going to be there, or how much noise figure they are going to have it, and so on, so that you can design your receiver circuit appropriately, so that your noise performance of receiver is going to be better, having the presence of noise. Noise will be always present, whatever may be the transmission that we are going to have it, unless you have a closed system that we are going to have. Even there also, even optical fiber, you say that it is going to be having, even though we say that it is the attenuation and all those things are minimal, but the noise still will be there with all the magnetic inductions and electromagnetic induction and so on. The various noises will be added. Okay, so EMI, EMC, and so on, all will be coming. Anyhow, that will be in your advanced courses. You'll be studying about various other noises that we are going to have. So basically, these are the required things that we are going to have it. Study about our different system performance of our AM and FM that we are going to have. Okay, so we know what is noise and how to represent noise, and what is normal noise, short noise, and then the matrix of your noise figure and the signal to noise ratio that we are going to have. Okay, now we will go for the how your noise of your AM system is going to be performing that we are going to have. So here, the noise, we said that basically we are much interested in the receiver circuit, right, or the transmitter, because transmitter, whatever the noise that is going to be added, it is going to be a lot of kilowatts, the power that we are going to generate. Therefore, we are not bothered about the noise added in your transmitter circuit that we are going to have, because whatever that is coming is amplified and then giving the required power output with all the modulation that we are going to have, and with the lead low feedback, this noise can be reduced to such an extent in your transmitter part. Whereas once it is transmitted, the channel noise is added, and then you have at the input, you are having the modulated RF carrier plus whatever the channel noise that has been added, right? And here I have given the typical the same RF, the superheterodyne receiver that we are going to have it, okay, which you have seen already. The superheterodyne receiver that we are going to have, you have the RF signal with the amplifier, then your mixer which down converts to the intermediate frequency, and again the same modulation is there on this intermediate frequency. Whatever the modulation is there on the RF frequency, the same modulation is going to be there in the intermediate frequency also. Instead of RF frequency FC, we are shifting to FIF that we are going to have it with the modulation bandwidth that we are going to have it. Therefore, your study of your all your amplitude modulation systems will be having the same circuit, except what you are going to have it in the demodulator. Your AM or DSBSC or SSB, all these things will be having the same with the different bandwidths, except in the demodulator that will. In the case of AM and DSBSC, this will be of FM, and this also will be of FM only, because your band is only one side band. Okay, 0 to FM only. Okay, so that's what, except that the receiver circuit is going to be the same for our typical one. One thing is, you have a DSBSC and SSB, you should have another synchronous generator here, so that you can give it to your demodulator. Whereas, if you have AM signal that is present here, a simple envelope detector or square law detector is enough to give you the required output. Whereas, with SSB and DSB, you require here a coherent, okay, so that demodulation that cause 2 pi FCT or 2 pi FIFT has to be there exactly to demodulate your circuit that we are going to have the same coherent signal. That's what we have seen. If the frequency is varying, or if the phase is going to change, that also gives you the error that we are going to have. So we don't want any variation in the signal because of oscillator frequency or the phase that we are going to have it. Okay? So we want to have that. Anyhow, you can say that you have a coherent oscillator also is available here, which has to be fixed to your demodulator, which is optional for your SSB and DSB system that we are going to have. Therefore, typically this entire system is common for your AM, DSB, SE or SSB system that we are going to have. The only thing is that we are going to down convert and amplify the signal. Right? So the basic variation that we are going to have it is in this part. If you have a AM or DSB, the bandwidth of these is going to be 2 FM along with different demodulation techniques, whereas SSB this gives you bandwidth of only FM that we are going to have. Except that this part is going to be the same for all your different AM modulation techniques that we are going to have. Okay? That's why we will concentrate much on this part of your receiver circuit to perform the comparison between the different noise performances of the systems that we are going to have. SSB or DSB or AM with carrier that we are going to have it. So we'll start with the SSB system. Before that, as we said that here the input to this is going to be the modulated IF carrier power, which are represented as SI. The input signal power that is going to be given to your receiver circuit. Even though this is the input side, but because this is a common for all these things, I said that this is the input power that we are going to have it to compare with our SSB, DSB or AM system that we are going to have. So the input power that we are going to spectrum that we are going to have, the only thing is it's limited to our bandwidth specifications that we are going to have to pass down this. Okay, so we have the signal power SI and the noise power spec density eta by 2 that we are going to have it as the input to your receiver circuit. Then you have a demodulated baseband filter, which is having again, depending on the modulation process, your baseband filter also has to be decided at the bandwidth as a 2 FM or FM that we are going to have it. Then output of this is your required value that we are going to have it, which we are saying that output baseband signal power is S naught. This is S naught, output power. Input power is SI, and output power I have put it as S naught value that we are going to have with all this filtering and then the amplification, whatever that we are going to have it, the one that we are going to have it, so that we are having the signal power there. The output, nice output power is going to be N naught. So we are having S naught and N naught that we are going to have it. So we will calculate the signal power and the noise power and then compare that signal to noise ratio. What will be the value that we are going to have it for your SSB system that we are going to have it. No? So for SSB system, you have this, we will calculate the signal power that is required and then we will calculate the noise power that we are going to have it. So I am assuming that this is the upper sideband that has been transmitted, right? That's why I put here FC plus FM. What signal that we are going to have it is SIT is equal to A into, with the amplitude A, cos 2 pi FC plus FM into T that we are going to have it. If we have a lower sideband, this is going to be F minus FM. Otherwise, this is having the same thing. Only thing is, if you say that FC minus FM, this band, the spectrum has to be different. That we are going to have it. That's why I put this FC signal that we are going to have it, the upper sideband that we are going to have it, and the same noise power that has been there is going to be the GN that we are going to have it is eta pi the corresponding spectrum that we are So this is what your carrier filter cache.
మీరు ఇప్పుడు పీడిఎఫ్ ఇచ్చారు కదా, పీడిఎఫ్ వాడు అంటే ఏం లేదు, వీళ్ళ కరెక్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయనుకోండి, వాడికి వాళ్ళు చేసే బాబా చేసి చేస్తే మనం మళ్ళీ మార్చుకోవచ్చు.
That we are going to have. Then
పేజ్ మీద నుంచి పీడిఎఫ్ చేశారు కదా,
exactly
పీడిఎఫ్ నుంచి వాడు కన్వర్ట్
same that we are going to have it. So we are at the noise that has been coming out of this circuit that we are going to have to pass by this band pass filter. The carrier filter is going to be a band pass filter with a frequency band of FM that we are going to have it. And this in the demodulator, what we are doing, we are
కానీ ఇతను నేను ఎప్పుడు అప్లై చేయలేదండి. తర్వాత ఇతనేమో
with having some noise also added into G1, GN2. So that I am putting from GN1 after the multiplier a nice value of GN2 that we are going to have. This has been given to your baseband filter.
అంటే ఇతను అడిగిపోతే వీళ్ళ వాళ్ళు ఎవరైనా అప్లై చేసి వాళ్ళకి అనుకుంటుంది అంటారు.
Bandwidth of FM that we are have. So this is the baseband filter characteristics that we are going to have. The output of this is going to be as what will be as
ఆగస్టు పాస్వర్డ్ అండి. మీకు కాదు
GN0 that we are going to have.
క్యాంపస్ సెలక్షన్ లో ఇతనికి ఇన్ఫోసిస్ వచ్చిందండి. మీకు అవుతోనే డిగ్రీ అవుతోనే పీసీ మీద ఇన్ఫోసిస్ చేరిపోయాడండి. ఇన్ఫోసిస్ లో చేరుతోనే 6 నెలలు ఆస్ట్రేలియా పంపించారండి. అతను వీసా చూశాను నేను, 2010 బిగినింగ్లో
S1D, 2D and S0.
నేనైతే అప్లికేషన్ లో పెట్టలేదు సార్. ఇదిగోనండి అతను వీసా అంతా చూపించాడు, పోర్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఎంట్రీ వెళ్ళింది. అప్పటి నుంచి ఇదిగో సార్ నేను మళ్ళీ
the output power S0 that we are going to have it in terms of the input power SI, because this is what SI that we are going to have it. Similarly, GN0 in terms of this
డూప్లికేట్ అయితే ఏం చేయాలి ఇప్పుడు అతను చెప్తున్నాడు.
input by the output signals that we are going to have. So the baseband signal frequency is FM, which is going to be less than this maximum bandwidth that we are going to have it. The maximum frequency component of your baseband signal is F capital M. And 0 to FM. FM is a particular independent frequency that we are going to have in the 0 to F capital M that we are going to have. Therefore, with SIT we have put as A cos 2 pi FC plus FMT. This is the upper sideband that we have considered. Therefore, the output S2T is going to be S1T into cos 2 pi FCT. We are multiplying. The output of your multiplier is S2T. Therefore, this is S1T into cos 2 pi FCT. This into cos 2 pi FCT. Therefore, this is cos 2 pi 2FC plus FM. FC plus FM plus FC. Therefore, 2F and the difference of these frequencies is A by 2 cos 2 pi FMT. Right? So we have a high frequency component mounted around 2FC and another one around your baseband frequency 0 to FM. So by passing through your baseband filter, this is going to be eliminated because this is having a very high frequency. S0 is A by 2 cos 2 pi FMT that we are going to have it. And input is this SIT. Therefore, what will be input power? Amplitude is A square by 2 is the power that we are going to have because this is single tone signal that we are going to have it. Okay? So the signal input signal is SIT is A because therefore your output signal power is going to be S by 2 that we are going to have. Magnitude square by 2 is the power that we are going to have it. Whereas the output power that we are going to have it, what is output power? A by 2 cos 2 pi FMT. Half of square of the magnitude. So 1 by 2 square of the magnitude is A by 2 square. This is A square by 8 or SI is A square by 2, therefore this is SI by 4 that we are going to have it. So if you have the signal as SI, after multiplication, because the multiplication process that we are going to have and the filtering process that we are going to have it, the output power has reduced by 4 times. SI by 4 that we are going to have it. Therefore, the ratio between SI by SI is 1 by 4 that we are going to have it. But here I have considered only one frequency and then 2 pi FCT, FC plus FM, and then simply multiplied and other things. But you have an arbitrary signal, the audio signal or the voice signal or whatever the signal that we are going to have it. Then how do we have it? So your audio signal or your signal can be put into a further series form with the harmonics that we are going to have it. And each will be having the same ratio that we are going to have each fundamental frequency and the harmonic frequencies. The ratio is coming the same. And at output you combine all those signals. What we are doing is the input signal is having number of frequencies, FM. So separate out the different frequencies, FM1, FM2, FM3 and so on. So cos 2 pi FC plus FM1, cos FC plus FM2 and so on. Different frequency components are there. Your spectral lines that we are going to have it. Each spectral line gives you a corresponding 2 pi FM1T, 2 pi FM2T and so on. So the output will be combination of all these baseband frequency components that we are going to have. Whereas your carrier frequency FC is constant, the same value that we are going to have. Only FM is an arbitrary signal that we are going to have it. Therefore, all these things combined, then again the same S0 by Si is going to maintain for any arbitrary signal also. Even though we have taken here a single tone frequency component for analysis purpose that we are going to have. Therefore, for your SSB signal that we are going to have it is S0 by Si gives you 1 by 4 that we are going to have. That is the signal calculation of the input and the output variations that we are going to have. Now we will calculate what will be the noise power that we are going to have it in the SSB reception that we are going to have, so that we can calculate what will be the signal to noise ratio between the input and the output we are going to have it. So noise power, we said that the GN1 is zeta by 2 with this spectrum that we are going to have FC to FC plus FM. We said that this power frequency is zeta by 2, that is there white noise, whereas output of your carrier filter is going to limit the entire except this FC to FC plus FM. Actually your noise is present at this point also, because it is present at all these frequency components in the spectrum. But your carrier filter is passing only these frequency components, remaining all are eliminated. Therefore, the noise power that is transmitted only about this band pass filter that we are going to have it. So that has been multiplied by your multiplier. The signal that has been passed, noise power that has been, or noise signal has been multiplied by your multiplier of cos 2 by FCT. So what will happen? The frequencies will be shifted. So you are going to have this high frequency component 2FC and minus 2FC, and then sum in the difference frequencies that we are going to have it. So the output of the multiplier, the spectral density, is going to be GN2. This is GN1 and this is GN2 that we are going to have it, which is going to be having the value that we are going to have it, zeta by 8 that we are going to have it. Because 1 by 4 we are going to get. This is zeta by 2. Then here we are going to have it zeta by 8 that we are going to have it. Like your signal power and the signal output power that we are going to have. So this is the output of the noise, output of the multiplier. this signal you are passing through a baseband filter. That means these two frequency components are eliminated because they are very, very high frequencies compared to your baseband filter that we are putting. Therefore, the noise power that is coming out is going to be only with theta by 2 of minus FM2 plus FM that we are going to have it. Therefore, this total power that we are going to have it is the power spectrum density to the bandwidth. The power spectrum density, and then this is the spectrum that we are going to have it minus FM to FM. Therefore, this is the bandwidth is 2 FM. The total power that is going to be there with the theta by 8 that we are going to have it. Therefore, the total power that we are going to have, noise power is going to be theta FM by 4. We have a power spectrum density of theta by 2. The noise power that we are going to obtain at the output is going to be theta FM by 4. So what will be the signal noise ratio at the output? S0 by N0. What is S0? Si by 4. Because S0 by Si is 1 by 4. Or S0 is equal to Si by 4. 1 by 4 times the input power. So S0 is Si by 4 and N0 is this theta FM by 4 that we are going to have it. This is nothing but Si by theta into signal. The signal to noise ratio at the output is going to be Si by theta into FM that we are going to have. So this is what the noise performance of our SSB system that we are going to have. The signal noise ratio at the output depends on the input and then the bandwidth that we are going to have. Theta times FM will be the value that we have. So similarly we can derive for the DSB, AM with DSB with carrier and for FM reception also. So those things with the modifications that we are going to have with your envelope detector and the square law detector, how they are going to perform the noise values that we are going to have in relation to the simple multiplier that we are going to have. Therefore, we will be having the different variations that will be coming out for this noise performance of SSB, DSB and AM system that we are going to have. So that things we will see in the next class. Right? Thank you.